Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Under 10, under 10, 10. 54, Mike, 54, Mike. Check, check.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate Big plays for an offense.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's win. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw it is Cousins. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. The punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. 54, watch 54. It's been a long day for you.
Here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. That's right, baby, they don't want it. Slam. 300. 6 sticks.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. Kill.
On second down now, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Let's go, defense.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Throwing is Cousins. And he fires one, but incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Running is Jacobs. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
And making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Vikings 20-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try the right side with Elliott. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking a...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, I'm up there.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's brought in by Dodson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
First down, Minnesota.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Check.
On first down, Cook. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Undercross. Check. Fresno.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run with Cook, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? Sham! Kill! Greystone, travel.
They try again with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says,
they've got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
At the 38-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Steps away to his left. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what.
Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
That's the takeaway. Now that's the takeaway. That's how the defense scored points.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7.
Makes the score Cowboys 20, Vikings 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
The Cowboys take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And an alley to run. Past the 20. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
152. Hey, let's get some penetration here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the interception, Cousins. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
You know, I have to be really happy after that play. The offensive line, to be able to create space in that situation when everything's jammed in and everyone knows you're going to run it, that's a big time play.
Because you're probably just thinking, hey, let's get to the 4 or 5 and get some breathing room, right?
That's all you're asking for. That's all your punter's asking for. Instead, he's not necessary now. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And some room to maneuver. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A First run for the backup, Abdullah. Amir Abdullah. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amir Abdullah. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? From just shy of midfield, Prescott over the middle, Cooper with it. Touchdown, Cowboys! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Cook. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing. Prescott. Being chased down left. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 4-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 4th-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. They run it again with Cook. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. 32. Let's go. Pilot, 64. Weak.
On the ground, it's Cook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action now, Cousins. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Cousins. And complete, right side to Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Back to the ground, Cook. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Watch the screen.
Cousins now. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Elliott running right. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Here we go. 52. Watch the run. Watch time. Watch time. Tight end run.
They'll run with Jacobs. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Marr able to put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Let's go. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. Just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Gun.
Cousins. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The Vikings on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17. Now Cousins. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. It was the safety, Darian Thompson, that time, who was able to break it up. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. One last shot now for Cousins. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
And they take a knee. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Dallas, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.